Have you ever wondered why you're the one that always tries to fix friendships, even when they're the ones that clearly walked away? Like, why? That's a tough question. I ask myself that question a lot now, and trying to fix friendships that fade is just not an easy thing to do. And it's only happened to me just a couple of times in my whole life. Why did it happen? I don't know. Anyways, why do I try so hard to make all these friendships work, even after such a small number of who I considered great friends go away? If that's something you wrestle with, you're not alone, my friends. For me, Mark Height, it's not about being desperate for friends. I mean, I have thousands of friends all over the world, which is pretty awesome. It's about being loyal. I guess I'm a person who just always remembers the good. Those deep conversations that we had, the shared laughter that we had, and oh my goodness, some of the great memories that we've had over my situation, 15, 20 years. And when that's gone, I feel the urge to try to pull it in or to try to repair what once really mattered to me. It's like something, I don't know, inside of me just can't. Reaching out to those friends that I've lost or gone another way who have shut down towards me. But sometimes I just wonder, am I really trying to save someone that no longer wants to be saved? They just want to stay miserable. Sort of drives me crazy. Anyways, my friends, there's, like I said, that pull I have towards the bitter and the broken. I guess it's just in my DNA. It's what Mark Height is all about. Why? Why do I chase people who carry that bitterness, the anger, or again, whatever word you want to put there? Maybe we see who they about it. This loyalty to me is beautiful, until though it starts costing you your peace. I know I've held on to some friendships too long, and that's when I think about them. And were they clearly just one-sided? I don't know. I don't want to go there too much. I've given when nothing comes back, and that's painful to admit. And I've learned that holding on too tightly can actually keep me, Mark Hite, from healing myself. But wait a second, was there a misunderstanding? Anyways, how do you recognize the friendship that's going to end? How do you know these things? Some of these friendships end not with a big blow up. Mine didn't, but with silence. That's what happened to me. That silence hurts, but I've come to realize not every ending of a friendship needs closure. Sometimes walking away is just a form of personal growth. I'm just not good at it. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't love and care for those people. It means you finally love yourself enough to stop living for someone who wouldn't even bandage the friendship wound. Ouch. Wow. So anyways, I just want to share some information for those who feel like me with regards to a friend who now wants nothing at all to do with you. My hope is that, somehow this information helps a little bit and warms your heart too. And again, if you're like me, if your heart still aches for friends who sort of vanished from your life, please know it's okay. It's not easy, but it's okay. Don't forget, you were created with a heart that sees the good in all things and fights for connection. That's what I do. Do you? That's how I was raised. That's how I was taught. But don't let just a painful few chapters change your beautiful design. The world needs more of your kindness. Those who care deeply and love honestly are important. We fight to keep people close. That's what we do. Please, my friends, just don't lose that fight that you have inside of you. This is very important to me. I want to talk for a second about the pain of losing a life partner, because that's just happened to me. And while we're being honest, I guess nothing really that I've experienced compares to the loss of a best friend who became your spouse. I had that love for 45 years. High school sweethearts. And when she died, everything inside of me just sort of shattered. And I knew the end was coming for her a long time before it happened. She just wasn't my wife. She was my person. She was my laughter, my comfort, my anchor. And the silence left behind is really deafening. You just don't lose them. You lose the rhythm of your life. Okay, so what's next, Mark? Well, right after this type of loss, there are so many questions that I've had go through my mind, like how can you move forward? Are you going to even try and move forward? That's what I find asking myself a lot. I still struggle with the question, how do you move forward when the one who knew you best is gone. And friends, I don't know and the emotions. My hope is you might have some good information that you can share with me in our group in a comment. So please do that below. I really do appreciate, and I do need those. So to those of you who are like me, Markite, you're hurting. You're still wondering. You're still reaching out. You don't want to give up on who you really are. Okay, my friends, here we go. Don't let the few broken relationships change your heart. Remember, we were created for a unique purpose here on earth, and your ability to love deeply and be a great friend is part of yours. Keep showing up. Keep being kind. When it's time to let go, do so with grace. And for my situation, it's not easy. It's just not. I'm sure there's probably going to be times where I'll try to reach out again to those great friends that somehow I lost. I just won't allow someone who I care for very much, those friends, to turn me into somebody that I don't ever want to be. Hope that makes sense. You see, they made me, think that the decision they made about me, and they seem to have no desire to reconcile or even respond with I'm okay when I send them a text. Anyways, that's really tough for me. As I said, I guess I have to be tougher. I really do. If this message hits home a little bit, please don't walk away quietly. Like I mentioned, leave me a comment, and you can always like, subscribe, and share this video with somebody, and follow along for other positive, encouraging messages. Again, please leave with a smile on your face, and if you know wisdom, and if